What's up Saab fans around the world, and welcome back to another video. So my excitement has dropped just a little bit from the last video, which was overwhelming exciting, but we still have the parts right here. So this is the scenario that I don't want. I don't want parts everywhere. It just makes a mess and you don't want to come out to the garage even. So today we are going to do some cleaning up. I'm gonna take the whole rear subframe apart and put away the differential and the drive shafts, and we are going to cut up the standard exhaust. The O2 sensors will be reused, but I need to cut this up so I can stack it away. This resonator or muffler looks really good, so that could be a keeper. This middle pipe is just a scrap, and this is the classic. The nuts is always gone when you try to remove this underneath the car. Just so classic. But it's a lot easier to cut it up when it's outside of the car. But today's video is about the fueling. So we are going to remove the fuel tank. And to start with, we are going to disassemble the fuel pump, and this is quite easy. Here someone has been before, because it's usually a Torx in the middle. But you just remove this little screw down there, remove the connector, and this is a pretty funny story. When I bought the car, it was just fully loaded with crap all over. All like the panels and stuff were covered in here. So I drove the car up to the trailer when we drove it home, and I unloaded it, and I have been in and out from the garage a couple of times, but first time when I drove it around the block and then into the garage. And I thought it smelled a lot of fuel in the car, and when I looked behind me I had like a fountain of fuel going behind my neck. So a previous owner had broken this line right here, and the replacement fueling hose had dried out, so it was just pissing fuel up on the window, which was quite dangerous, to be honest. But this is an easy fix. We will wiggle out these hose right here, and then we will take two flathead screwdrivers and remove this bracket or holder for the fuel pump. Remove the fuel pump. Then I bought like the cheapest stuff I could find. This is like a pump to get it out and a little bucket to take the fuel in, and we will put the fuel in another car. And when that's done, I guess it's just to remove some of the filler piping, and then remove some of the bolts that holds the tank and the tank bands, and then just drop it down, and we will have somewhat clean rear end of the car, which will be nice. So we are going to start by disassemble the fuel pump. It's always nice to lift this up a little bit, then you will get leverage to wiggle out the hose, and now it can come some fuel out of them. Because if you try to bend these tabs to the side and remove them, these tabs always break. Not always, but most likely. and that's the way it should not go. But anyways, we'll try to put these to the sides. And then you take just 2 flathead screwdrivers. They don't need to be flathead, and you put them in like an X so they can turn against each other, and it could sit a little bit harder than this, but it's quite easy to remove it. You don't need a special tool. Like so. There we have the assembly. So now we are going to try to empty out this fuel tank. It seems to be quite some fuel in here, but we will see how it goes. This actually works quite well. And I know a lot of you will comment like, yeah, you could have hooked up the fuel pump to a 12-volt battery and used the pump to drain out the tank, but yeah, this is the way I do it. And by the time you see this video, it will already be done. Here we have the first 10 liter. This is like a true money pit with the fuel prices today. So this happens too often. I checked a little bit underneath the car and started to pull in some stuff. Detach some zip ties, and then I got the tank out without filming anything, but now it's out and it's quite a big tank. So now we need to empty out the remaining fuel, and the fumes in the garage right now are crazy. I wouldn't want to light a match right here right now. That's like 20 liters out of the tank. So the fuel tank is out, and there's a guy picking it up later today. And we have an empty space right here, which is nice. So we can start work on the car for real. It's gonna get a full rust protection underneath before we continue with anything, and this is going to be removed. But right now I just need to clean up. Take this apart, take the exhaust apart, and sort out some stuff, because this is the exact situation that I don't want the project to be in. I want to keep it clean, and it should be nice to come out to the garage and continue the work. So now we're just going to do a little time lapse of cleaning up and picking apart some stuff.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
So now it looks somewhat a little cleaner, at least. Got some of the space back. So the upper control arms are going to the junkyard. Some scrap right here that I'm going to toss away. This is the rear end, and it needs to get sandblasted, which I got right here. And we will see how this looks after the sandblasting, because some of the parts are really rusty, and I don't want to put back like shitty parts to the car. I want to do it somewhat correct, but mainly the parts right here are like casted iron parts, so it's very thick metal or very thick iron, so it will withstand a lot. So just sandblast it, rust protect it, and it will be good to go. And I have bought some sheet metal plates, some for the trunk and some for the fixings of the hole in the body. Like we got some of them that the previous owner had done, and we're gonna cut out the barrel and make a flat floor in here. But I just wanted to remove like the fuel tank and also the fuel lines before we start to like cut into the body. But now it's very open, so we need to do some work to get some more space for the drive shaft. But we are really getting there. So I think in the next episode we will start to disassemble all the parts that should not be in the front and pull out the motor, so we can start working and preparing where the engines should sit and everything. And then it should be time to get the welded gearbox, so we can start to mock up like the gearbox and the engine together. And I don't want to do anything with the rear subframe and fit the rear differential before I got the engine out and I know the distance between everything. So that will be in the next episode, I think. So comment down below if you want to see anything else. Do you want to see like the parts getting blasted and rust protected? Or what do you want to see? And I can tell you, these gasoline fumes are nothing to play with. It Smells a lot of gasoline in the garage right now, and I have had the door open all the time while I have been fixing all this. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, it means a lot to me. Comment anything if you need to know anything, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.